Hey y'all. So I wanted to share a story, pretty much what my whole sophomore year was like. Um, cause it was a crazy year. It was like a turning point in everything. I've been thinking about it lately a lot. So I started off the year. I was okay. Sophomore year, I was 14, and the first couple weeks. So my whole freshman year, I was with this guy. It was my first relationship. He took my virginity and everything. So it was like my first boyfriend. And the beginning of sophomore year, it was like the first couple of weeks. I don't remember why I broke up with him, but I just got convinced I was bored and I broke up with him. And we used to, well, I used to be really sensitive, and every time I smoked weed, I thought everybody was talking about me. I was kind of a bitch. Like, that was all I like. It was just us smoking weed, and I used to get really upset every time I went to his house. I thought everybody was making fun of me, and I used to get mad. And I think that's why I broke up with him, because I thought that he was letting people talk shit about me and stuff. So I broke up with him, and I started dating this other kid like 2 days later after we broke up, and it caused a whole bunch of drama. Uh, when I got to the bus stop one day, yeah, my ex boyfriend's family, like his cousin or his aunt or something, was waiting there, and they were gonna have one of his family members fight the new guy that I was dating. So me and my new date jumped in somebody's car. Like, somebody was like, "All right, just get in the car real fast. We're not gonna fight this." And I came with him too. He was like, "Come with me." Yeah. So, and we got in a car chase, and my ex's cousin was in a car chase with me and my new friend, and whoever was driving me and my new friend. Luckily, like, they went away. Nothing happened, but so when I came home that day, there was a whole bunch of stuff on Facebook about my ex post about me, all this horrible stuff, embarrassing stuff, and I had all these hateful messages, and I just flipped, man. I started crying and freaking out. I tied a rope around my neck, uh, and nobody was at my house at the time, and like I didn't know how to. I was just looking for a reaction at that time. Like, I could not control my reactions. I don't know why. I could have not done this, but I was just being stupid. So I took a whole bunch. I took like 10 aspirin, and I posted on Facebook. I just took 10 aspirin, you guys. Blah blah blah. And so my best friend, because in the time I was in Iowa, so my best friend all the way in Nashville, she saw that I posted that, and she called the ambulance. And thank God I learned my lesson. Never do that again, anything like that. Like, learn how to handle your emotions. But yeah, so the ambulance got me, and I consented for them to take me to the hospital, and I called my mom from there. I was like, "Hey, all this stuff just happened." She was shocked when she got there. She was so mad. She was like, "You could have called me anything but this, anything." But yeah, she was worried. Um, so after I was in the hospital for like 2 days, like, they made me drink all this charcoal to get all the pills out of my system, and it wasn't that bad. Like, I could have not gone to the hospital and I would have been fine. But so then I went to the mental unit for like 2 weeks and had a really good time. I met a bunch of really nice people there. It was a chill mental place. I ended up getting in shape there. I started working out again. I got my confidence back up, and I got out on my 15th birthday. Um, and when I got out, my best friend from Nashville and my grandma came up to visit me, and they stayed for like a week or two. And uh, yeah, anyways, yeah, so, and I was single at the time because I was like, after I went to the mental hospital, of course, I was like, I'm not, don't need to date anybody. I need to get over this relationship. But yeah, and that school was crazy. Like, I had a really bad reputation there just because, like, I was like, it wasn't, uh, because I was so young and I was just like, all I would talk about since the first day of school, freshman year, was I was uh, at that school was that I smoked weed, and that was all I cared about. And I would only hang out with people that smoked weed and all the stuff that happened. But um, so when I got back, yeah, everybody was like, "Oh my god, that crazy bitch!" Oh yeah, and my ex boyfriend from freshman year had a lot of friends there, and they didn't like me. And so when I came back from the hospital, I made a bunch of new friends. Well, like there was like, I don't know, it was some new people I started talking to were nice to me, and then there was a whole bunch of other people, like a majority of people. Uh, I mean, a lot of it was all in my head, like, and I don't even care about that kind of stuff no more. But at the time, that was all I cared about was what people thought. I wanted to be cool. I wanted to be the badass. But yeah, it flipped on me, reverse. Like, anyways, um, yeah, and then so after my friend left, I started getting comfortable at school again and started hanging out with some new bus stop kids. And then one day, yeah, there was this girl that lived like down the street from my house, and her cousin was in one of my classes. She was a year younger, and but yeah, so I became friends with them too because he lived like a mile away and she lived right down the street from my house, and so we all started talking and hanging out. I had a class with her and a class with him, and we all started hanging out at lunch, and they were really nice. And I used to start going to her house after school. And about like 2 weeks into us being friends, she had me give this note to this guy, this really cute guy that she liked, and I gave it to him, and I didn't hear much about it after that. But then it was like 2 days later, I ran into him again, and he asked me for my number, and I gave it to him, and I just started texting him and talking to him, and she was really nice about it because she had liked it, but like, so nothing ended up happening between them. So, and he was best friends with her cousin, uh, so they pretty much introduced me to this new kid, this guy, and immediately me and him, we hit it off, and we had everything in common, and I really liked him, and we started dating right away. And it was bad because me and her, uh, like, her mom was really strict and stuff, and she didn't want to smoke, and I was just horrible. I was just like pretty much dropped her like that, and she saw him first and everything. I don't know. So that was how our relationship started. So um and he was like this badass kid, and he had a lot of friends. He was a skater kid, and um he lived like a few streets down from my house too, like across from the trap house that I was telling y'all about. I used to, hang out, and pretty much that whole year we were like inseparable. Like we skipped class together all the time. He stood up for me to everybody. Like I don't know, he made me feel like I fit in. Like he kind of helped my confidence because it was way different than my relationship before that, freshman year. Like I'll tell you all about that in another video, but uh I think it was, I don't know, but yeah, I did a lot of growing up that year, and I was really immature that year too, and we both just wanted to just complain. Like we both like I don't know. He had a lot of angst. Like I don't know, a lot of guys would pick on him, but all the girls liked him, and I don't know, he was just like the coolest kid ever. Like I felt like, and we were like this power couple. Like we took over. Like it felt like we took over everything. Like we always had the weed. We always got away with skipping class together. We even had a couple classes together. Like we were strong, and um, yeah, through rain and snow, he used to come. We used to go to each other's house like every day. Like we would talk on the phone when we weren't together, and um I don't know, the drugs and the partying kind of took over, and towards the end of the year, that's how we started slipping apart from the trap house. And uh, I don't know, we were just went on different pages, and I was talking to people on the. Let's see what happened. So we both started getting grounded all the time. That's what happened. We both started getting grounded. I was failing that year. He was failing. We were both in trouble all the time. And then he started partying with people from a different crowd that had something against me. And yeah, and cuz I was at the trap house all the time no matter what, when he was grounded, and vice versa. He was out when I was grounded, and I don't know, we got in a couple arguments, and he ended up cheating on me, I think. Yeah, I heard. And I didn't really care at the time because the whole time that he was grounded out partying, I was on the computer partying at home, like talking to people on the computer all the time. But yeah, he officially cheated on me, and then we broke up, and we we were like agreed to be friends still, kind of. But so then that was like in the spring that we broke up, and then we finished out the year, and it was kind of awkward. And then I came back after this. I went to Nashville for the summer, and I was kind of hoping that when I came back we would get back together. Like I don't know, I never really got over it. Um, I came back, and yeah, because he was a grade younger than me, but he was the same age as me. But so since I had failed so bad that year, my mom had, that was how, before the meth started, and before the my whole life changed, before I dropped out that year. And um but yeah, I was like, I started talking to him. I was like, we were gonna try to keep to hang out when I came back. And immediately, like the first day that we hung out, because he was still in school, he stayed in school, and I dropped out, and we got in an argument like the first day that we hung out. And um I was at that trap house all the time, like as soon as I came back, like right away. And I think he was grounded, uh like after the first time that we hung out when I got back. And then I don't know, one day, yeah, because I was really thinking we were gonna get back together. But I could tell that he was bummed out that we weren't going to the same school, that we went down separate paths, and it just wasn't gonna work. So uh yeah, I got a phone call one day. And his mom was like, "Do you know what just happened to my son? Uh, he just punched. He got. I don't know if you know, but I thought maybe I'd ask you if you want to come with me to take him to the hospital. I'm coming to pick him up right now. Do you want to come meet me?" He got in an argument, got upset at school, and punched a wall. Apparently, it was because we got in an argument on the computer. That's what happened. We got in an argument over the computer, and he punched a wall and broke his whole hand. So she picked me up, and she got picked him up, and we took him to the hospital. And I was just like, "I'm sorry. I don't know what to say." And I had her drop me off at the house across the street from his house, the party house, and